from the south suburbs of Chicago. It's Sandy from parkerlings.com, and I'm here in the basement of our home where I am prepping mangoes to be the first batch of real food that we do in our freeze dryer. Yesterday my dad and I set up the freeze dryer, unboxed it, got it installed on the cabinet that we bought for it, and did all of the testing that was necessary. My first batch was a batch of white bread, sliced bread, and that is just finishing its final dry. And at that point, hopefully, I'll be able to get the freeze dryer reset up and started for my first batch, which is going to be a batch of fresh mangoes. So come along and watch as I prep the mangoes and chat a bit about the freeze dryer. We were able to get 10 mangoes at our local Jewel Osco store this last week. Now, I've never cut a fresh mango before, so this is going to be interesting. You're seeing me on the first time trying it. I know that what the seed looks like, and I know that you have to take the skin off, but comments and suggestions for best videos to watch on how to slice up a mango. I'll probably pause the video at some point after we're done chatting and check out some YouTube videos on the subject. The sale for these mangoes was 29 cents a piece. It was limit 10, so we did limit ourselves to 10, but we got the 29 cents a piece. You have to download their app and clip a coupon. But I got 10 mangoes for just under $3, including tax, which was really a great price. I was really pleased with that. And they were fresh. They've softened up a bit because it was a few days ago that we bought them, but they're looking great. So I can't wait to try my first freeze-dried batch of mangoes. What about you? In the comments, can you share with us what you think your first batch of freeze-dried food would actually be? Now, some people may not realize what a freeze dryer is, and in a moment or two I will step around and show you our freeze dryer. But I want to get some of these cut up first. So there, I think I've got you can see I've got the seed there. I'm trying to get around the seed as best I can here. And it's a nice sharp knife. Oops, let me see if I maybe go this way. There we go. There I see I got the mango here, the seed. Maybe this video should be how not to peel a mango. Or how not to cut up a mango. Now, I was planning to take the peel off the mango. I may actually try some with the peel just to see what it's like. We'll see what happens here. I know that they have a mango cutter. I might have to invest in one of those too. Tell me in the comments, do you have a mango cutter, a special mango cutter and what do you think of it? Does it work for you, or is it not worth it? This just goes to show you how often I actually have eaten mangoes. Although I don't dislike the fruit, it isn't usually one of my favorites. It's actually my husband's favorite fruit, probably because it's something he can eat without having any problems, because it doesn't have a seed. He likes all the fruit that doesn't have seeds on it. Well, there you go. There's still some more meat on this seed, and I probably will attempt to get it off. But now, as I understand it, you just kind of cube the main flesh. So I'll go ahead and do that. Go through and cube the flesh. I thought this was how you did avocados. I don't remember that this is how you do mangoes, but it's what I'm going to try because it's what I seem to recall from my days in the UK where fresh mangoes are eaten pretty regularly. I'm making sure hopefully not to cut my hand with this sharp knife underneath either. So then if we do this, I thought you could turn it inside out. Ah, there we go. It's coming now. There we go. And now hopefully, here's my bowl where I'm going to store it until I'm ready to put it on the freeze dryer. You should be able to, I'm having to cut them off, but you should be able to take the pieces off. There we go. Well, so there's my I'm not gonna chat with you through the whole 10 mangoes. There you can see my perhaps brutal attack on the first one. I hope that those of you who are expert mango peelers are not cringing too much. And like I said, I would love in the comments below for you to correct me and guide me and show me how to do it better. Of course, if my husband were here, this would be his job. I don't think he'd be asking the same question. He has been my sous chef for 20 years, and I'm sure he's had to cut up a mango or two in his sous chef career. So, let's talk a little bit about freeze drying. I'm no expert. Obviously, this is my first attempt at freeze drying. Not eaten, well, I have eaten some freeze-dried foods. And any of you, particularly in the UK, who drink instant coffee will be very familiar, actually, with freeze-dried, because instant coffee is simply freeze-dried coffee. I was a bit floored when I found that out, but certainly is. Instant coffee is freeze-dried coffee, so that was interesting. Basically what happens is that the freeze dryer freezes the food, or you can pre-freeze it in your own deep freeze. It then vacuum freezes to a lower temperature because the vacuum allows you to get down to a lower temperature. It then brings the food up to a higher temperature, and while it's doing so, it vacuums out the water that's in the food. I think the process is called sublimation. You release the pressure. Because it's back up at temperature. You release the pressure of the vacuum seal on the freeze drying machine and open it up, and the food that you've got is completely dry, but you have to be very quick about processing it because it will start to gain the moisture from the air. And in gaining the moisture from the air, it's reconstituting itself and becoming wet again, getting that moisture. So then it loses its ability to be stored for a long time. And freeze drying is all about long-term food preservation and food storage, because you can eat freeze-dried food. It'll be perfectly edible for years and years and years after, some people say 25 years, up to 25 years after the food has been freeze-dried. You can reconstitute it, and then it is fresh as the day you freeze-dried it, which is really great for me. I really love that idea that the food is stored, because I hate food waste, and if this helps to eliminate our food waste better. You know, my dad, we cook wonderful meals, but sometimes the leftovers go bad because we don't feel like eating them. And it's sad. Well, and I say that they go to waste. The reality is that they go into the compost, so not really to waste, but certainly not probably the best stewardship of the food that we've been given. So freeze drying should allow us to freeze dry our leftovers, freeze up our leftovers and get them dried out, have them as meals in the future. And I love the idea that my dad, who is a wonderful cook, who taught me a lot about cooking, still cooks very well and in big batches a lot of times, because he's used to having cooked for a family of 5, can make his big batches, and the leftovers won't go to waste. It's a wonderful thought. And here I am trying to peel this piece of mango and butchering it again. Apologies, guys. It's a slippery little beast, and I am trying my darndest not to cut my fingers on the camera. So let me go and move away from this, move away from the piece of mango, Sandy, so that you don't cut yourself, and set up and show you the freeze dryer setup that we've got. So here we are in the utility room. Apologies, it's a little bit of a narrow room. Here is the cabinet that we brought in yesterday. It is an excellent cabinet, very heavy duty. It's on casters, so it rolls, and it's got these 8 drawers, which are perfect. We'll be able to. We've stored all of the stuff associated with the freeze dryer, and then we'll be able to. We've got extra shelves left. That is the Premier pump that is associated with the Harvest Right freeze dryer, and we've got the medium Harvest Right freeze dryer. And you can see here that my first batch is complete. And so now I have to read the directions and see what it says to do about my first batch, which I will now do in terms of stopping the batch. So here are the oops, I've got to find the right directions. Here we go. The final dry. It will beep to notify the process is complete. You'll then be prompted to open the drain valve to vent. Before doing so, pull the drain hose out of the bucket and or check. Okay, so this says open drain valve to vent, but it doesn't say process complete yet, so I'm not sure. Although it says final dry completed, here it says process complete, so maybe I'm not yet, even though it says complete. There we go. So I was in a final dry, but I was in a 2-hour extra, so it was already done. So now what I can do is open the drain valve to vent. So what I did was I reduced it was on a. So how do I, if I open the drain valve to vent? Okay. So here I am on the side, and it's currently perpendicular, and I've got to open it. There we go. And now it is releasing. Now here in the pipe, it is releasing the pressure, and I've got this here bucket at the bottom to keep it. So we're just waiting for it to reduce its pressure. I don't hear any more pressure on it. Oop, and so now I think I can open it here. And if I take out, you see that the first batch that they suggest is a loaf of bread, and here is the bread, and it feels like dry, stale bread. And if you see here, when I break it, it is completely dry, which is what we want. So now I can take these out. Ooh, they're quite warm. I'm going to get a hot pad to take them out. So here I've gotten a hot pad, and I'm just going to take them out. And put them here on the side. Move my words here. There we go. There are silicone baking mats under the. There are these baking things. It looks like they look like baking things. They're silicone in any case, and they make the trays stick a bit to the bottom here. There we go. The trays don't necessarily slide real well. Well, you can see that is very dry bread. Well, I hope you can see because there's cracks in it. That's what I was trying to show you. There are cracks in it, and I showed you it's just nothing. It's really, really light. It's almost like it's more than toasted bread. So now what I've got to do on here is I've got to click the defrost button. And close the door and press continue. And now it's a 2-hour defrost cycle. So I've got 2 hours to prep my mango before I go in and start again. I hope that you enjoyed this video, this little catch up. We're doing well here in South Suburban Chicago, Illinois. And 3 weeks in, it's a nice chapter of my life. It's just about starting not to feel like vacation as I get into things like the freeze dryer and a normal routine after jet lag and everything. Thanks so much for stopping by today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. What would you like to see freeze dried in the future? Please comment below and let us know. With that, we'll say goodbye. God bless. We'll see you soon.